Salute, man. Salute to the YTBC from Nocturnal Thoughts, man. What's happening to everybody out there in the boxing YouTuberverse? Last night, I got off track. I wanted to watch the Oscar Valdez fight against Conceição. I wanted to rewatch that fight, but I did not get a chance to. I actually watched the all-access behind-the-scenes of Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber trilogy against Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. I like to watch behind the curtains. I like to see training footage and different interviews. I'm not going to lie though, this fight, the fatigue for me was setting in to where I had started to lose a lot of interest. And the more they would show a little training footage and then delay the fight, I just lost a little bit of interest in it. So it would take a lot more than just one all access for me to regain any kind of interest and intrigue with this fight. But I did see, Deontay Wilder, his training footage. I heard that some people were saying that it was embarrassing. Some people were saying that it was impressive. Shouts out to my bro out there, A-Reed Zodiac, Red Glove Militant, Money Brown, Champ Side, who else that I watched? Contender Regime Boxing. So salute to everybody out there. But my thing is, first of all, I'm still just looking at the relationship between Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott. And like I'm watching the 6-minute montage. And I love montages. Come on, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up with all the montages, all the Rocky and Rambo montages and John Claude Van Damme montages. You did. But I'm watching his montage and it's kind of corny. It's kind of corny to me in certain ways. Like Malik Scott is a corny guy. He drinks a little bit of water and he goes over and he's, puking. He's not puking, but he's regurgitating. He can't hold his water down. He's throwing up, and it's just over dramatic. It's like over dramatic. Like, we working hard. We know you training hard. You can tell me this late into the training camp, you still drinking water and throwing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm from old school where you do squats until you puke. We had the puke bucket right there by the squat rack. I know all about that. But at the same time, you get to a point where your threshold gets to the point where the bucket is for newbies. It's not for the veterans anyways. But Malik Scott is over there throwing up in the corner. And Deontay is fighting to exhaustion. And that's cool. But I'm just saying, even in the 6-minute montage video, Deontay Wilder still looked like he was on some Bambi legs. Like his legs still don't look like they hold him up properly. Even in that montage video when he's throwing body shots, I know he's lanky and he's tall and awkward and all that, but his legs still look like they buckling under the pressure of him just throwing punches and hitting a padded suit. So I just can't see, like I want to see from Deontay Wilder, to be honest, what I wanted to see from Deontay Wilder. Not everything. I'm not expecting you to expose everything you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? But I would rather have seen him with some training, with some sparring with some big guys. You know what I'm saying? Just pushing them around, laying on top of them, trying to ragdoll them. And I would have loved to see him doing some sled presses. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see him doing some squats. Yeah, I would love to see him, going mano a mano in the ring with a big guy and using his leverage to push the dude off of him. You know what I'm saying? So just watching him hit, the bag don't hit back, the mitts don't hit back. Malik Scott don't seem like he really want to hit back. And that's another thing too. I done watched the Malik Scott versus Deontay Wilder fight so many times where I'm just like, I understand why you got rid of Mark Breland. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't fight knowing that you're going to be getting into some trouble with Tyson Fury. And in the back of your mind, you also worry about your corner throwing in the towel whenever you look like you about to get hurt real bad, because that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But past that, you get Malik Scott. And I'm looking at Malik Scott when you fought him. I mean, you barely touched Malik Scott. and he's down for the count. I just don't see how in training he's going to hold the pads for you. I mean, how is he taking these bombs you dropping on him via pad mitts, hitting the pads, hitting the mitts, hitting the body armor? I just don't have how would you have confidence, you know what I'm saying, hitting this guy pads when you didn't barely touched his chin and put him down for the count like that? Like, I watched the sparring, or not sparring, but I watched some pad work with Andy Ruiz. I don't think it was Eddie Reynoso that was holding the pads for him, but he accidentally threw the wrong punch, and he caught his guy clean on the chin. I mean, wiped his nose. And he, I'm sorry. You know, Andy Ruiz is so polite. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, are you okay? You okay? But the dude took the shot and shook it off. That happens in training. You threw the wrong punch. His pad was down. He clipped his chin, and it could have knocked him out. Could have hurt him real bad. But you talking about Malik Scott, I barely touched you in a real fight, and you went down for the count. So I'm going to be just suspicious of that whole situation until I see what happens in the ring. Because I can't say Malik Scott, you know, they say if you can't do, you teach. You can train. A lot of trainers can't box against their boxers that they train. A lot of trainers are old. You know, Freddie Roach wasn't the best boxer in the world. He was one of the best trainers in the world. Derrick James was a good fighter, but he wasn't the best in the world, but he has a good squad. Floyd Money Mayweather wasn't as good as Floyd Sr. wasn't as good as Floyd Jr. He was a good fighter, but he wasn't as good as his own son. So you can be a trainer that can elevate Deontay Wilder. I don't know what's going to happen in the ring in the trilogy. There's a part of me that's always going to be pulling for Deontay Wilder to win. But my thing is, when he took his loss, if he would have never made the accusations against the referee, being a dirty referee, I would have more confidence in him actually doing what he needs to do to make the adjustments to win in a trilogy match. Never mind the suit, the Mark Breland, the glove gate, and all that. Once he blamed the referee, that's where I said to myself, he's not ready to make the adjustments. But he has did some things where I said he's shown some type of improvement, some type of motivation to do improvement work with Malik Scott, but it's all been like kind of super hokey, montagey, set up at the perfect times. And you know what I'm saying, I'm the type of person that I like the sausage, but I also like to see how the sausage is made. It don't bother me to see how the sausage is made. So, you know, I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. I don't know exactly what Deontay Wilder's going to bring to the table, or Tyson Fury. I don't know what Tyson Fury's going to bring to the table. Right now, it's one of those fights where, like I said, so much fatigue set in, where you lose interest in both guys. You lost interest in Tyson Fury, and you lost interest in Deontay Wilder. So I'm hoping that they pull this thing together and get it out the way and let the best man win. That's all I can really say. Let the best man win. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing the training. I'm tired of seeing, you know, the improvements on the pads. I'm tired of all the interviews and the talk. You know, it's redundant. Nobody's really bringing anything new to the conversation. It's just kind of like old news that's being respun, and it lost a lot of the flair. It lost a lot of the luster, and hopefully when they get in the ring, that anxiety builds back up and the interest builds back up and they put on a good performance. My thing is this: Deontay Wilder really is more about redemption, and there's only two ways he can redeem himself in this fight. One, he can win, and that'll be a way of him redeeming himself. Two, he can put on a better performance and lose, but still hold his head up high, no excuses, and say the best man won, and that'll be a form of redemption. You know what I'm saying? Three, he can go in there and knock Tyson Fury all the way out, and hopefully he still stays humble to say, I just won, the better man won, and we don't have to go down the whole path of, you know, all the conspiracy theories and all of that negative mumbo jumbo malarkey. You dig what I'm saying? Don't want to make this video too long. I like the training. I like to see the montages, but enough is enough. I like listening to interviews, but we passed that point, and let's just get down to the nitty gritty and see what's going to happen inside the square circle. This is Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Let me know what y'all think. Holla back. Everybody out there in the YTBC, man, from Nocturnal Thoughts. Bow. I salute you. Bow. Be blessed. Peace. I'm gone.